Do you ever find yourself in a pickle? But honestly, do you ever find yourself in a pickle? I say weekly, I have just 3 empty jars of pickles just popping in my fridge. I love pickles. I'm not even joking. I really do love pickles. But what do you do with the leftover brine? Pickle juice, pickle brine, they're the same thing. So I'm going to show you 3 recipes to use dill pickle juice and bread and butter pickle juice. Let's start with the first one. I'll see you guys later. Are there, oh, wait, there's one in there. Let's just go ahead and eat this. I don't think I can do this without finishing this little guy. All right, that's ready. Pickle brine, pickle juice, here it is. I'm gonna pickle some red onions. You could do any kind of onion you like. I'm gonna cut this baby up. Just take off the root. That's how my grandma used to say root. Even though she's from Michigan, I don't think that's how they say it there, but here we are. And we're gonna cut it, take off the skin. I like using red onion, which I really wanna lobby for it to be called purple onion because it's not red. So this purple onion, because it gets like it just turns a pretty color. I like how it looks. And I am very vain when it comes to vegetables. All right, and try and thinly slice it as best you can. And go low and slow, or just slow. You don't have to get low on this one. We're not dropping it. I'm also doing it in half moons so it fits easier in the jar. We're gonna add some of these. And then I wanna add some sweetness. Like when I make just a basic pickled red onion, I wanna do some sort of vinegar, salt, and some sort of sweetness. So this already has the salt and the vinegar and garlic. So I'm gonna add some sweetness with coconut sugar. You can use maple syrup, you could use honey, you could use whatever you want. I like coconut sugar because I think it just feels fancier. I'm gonna do a couple tablespoons. I'm gonna put the lid on before I add the rest of the onions. I'm gonna shake it up. Great. All right, let's add the rest of the onions. And you're probably thinking, as we all do, what are these going to be used for, Meg? What can I use these for? Put it on a sandwich. Put it on a burger. Put it on tacos. It's like I just learned about tacos. I'm like, put it on tacos. Let's top this. Give it a little shake as well. You just want to make sure they're fully submerged. They're fully covered by the brine. Pop this in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. The longer it sits, the more flavor it gets. Okay, next one. Let's just keep this pickle process going. Never throw away your jars. I also don't throw away my actual jars. I keep them and I make dressings in them. My husband's like, can you throw away a jar? And I was like, can you give me a minute? So I crushed this last weekend. So here's my other jar of pickle juice. To this one, I'm gonna add some dill, bay leaves, and little green beans. They're also called haricots verts. They're spelled like haricot vert, right? Haricot vert. But they're pronounced haricots verts. I think I'm saying it correctly. But if you don't want to use green beans, you could do asparagus, broccoli, or cauliflower, cocktail weenies. That would be crazy, but I would like to see that. Some dill. I'm gonna add a couple bay leaves as well. And then I'm gonna add my green beans. I'm gonna have them sticking up like this and just put them in. And then this is where it gets fun. You kind of tuck them in like pickles in a pickle jar. So these are raw. You don't need to blanch them. You don't need to do anything to them. And the longer they sit, they get pickled flavor, obviously, but they stay crunchy. So you bite and you're like, my favorite. Nobody wants a soggy green bean. So just take your time, tuck them in. Try and push them down so they're submerged in the liquid. This one won't fully submerge. So what I do is I fill it up, and then for one day I keep it like this, and then the next day I flip it. Obviously the lid's on it. I flip it, so then these little guys get the brine as well, and then the next day I flip it back up. So everyone gets a dip in the pool, the pickle juice pool. Other ways to use pickle brine, my favorite way is in a Bloody Mary or a pickleback or When I have the worst acid reflux, the only thing that works is to take a shot of pickle juice. I know it sounds crazy. It has to be dill pickle, not sweet, not bread and butter. But I just in the fridge, just taking a shot of pickle juice, and I swear it always helps my acid reflux. Try it. Okay, guys, I think you're all fit in. So like I said, start it in the fridge like this, then do a day like this, then do another day like this, so it all gets brined out. And if you're worried about this leaking, put it under a bowl, in a bowl or a plate, so you don't wake up and have brine all over your fridge. That's never, ever happened to me. Oh, another great way to use pickle brine, fried chicken. Add it to your marinade with your fried chicken before you bread it and before you get all fried with it. It is so good. Trust me. All right, last but not least, my bread and butter pickle. I'm gonna make a slaw out of this baby with just a little cabbage. I think this is one head. It's about 8 cups. But if you've made slaw before or ever worked with cabbage, you know that it starts to wilt down when you add a dressing, or especially when you cook it, it wilts down to like nothing. So once we add the dressing and the sauce over this, it'll go like beep, 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 beep. So you start with a lot, but you don't end up with a ton. Let's make the dressing. I'm gonna use about a half a cup of the bread and butter pickle brine, pickle liquid, pickle juice, tamari. You could use low sodium soy sauce. You could use coconut aminos. I like tamari. It adds a nice salty bite to this. A couple tablespoons. And fish sauce. If you've never worked with fish sauce, it is a magical little being. It has a flavor like no other. You can't really replicate it. I did read somewhere that they make a vegan fish sauce. So if you want to make this and you're vegan, give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. But don't add too much. Too much is not good. About a tablespoon or 2. Some chili flakes. And the tamari has salt in it, but I like to add just a little bit of salt and some pepper. And also the thing with slaw, I add the sauce, I let it sit for a little bit, I toss it, I let it sit, I taste it, and then I can always add more tamari or salt or fish sauce if I think it needs it. If you see, this is a Mayola Slaw. I mean, I love mayo, but I kept it out of this one. Keeps it really light. Ring, ding, ding. Let's set this aside. I'm going to chop up. I have 3 green onions or scallions. And I'm just going to slice them on a hard bias. Okay. That's ready. Now, obviously, I can't mix in this bowl because it's going to make a mess. Get a large bowl and go, well, I'm going to hold back some of this. And goes my cabbage. And once this starts to wilt down and break down a little bit, I can add some more. I have 3 thinly sliced Persian cucumbers. You can do English cucumbers. I like these because they're little. My green onions. Let's add the dressing, the sauce. It smells so good. If you added a little lime juice, that'd be good. I mean, this would still be good if you wanted to add mayo. I'm not gonna turn my nose up at some mayo. And let's just give this a toss. I like to leave my slaw out on the counter for a little bit. So I toss it, I let it sit, then I toss it again, then I let it sit. I feel like I'm making a school lunch. Come on, kids.
Would this be good for a summer picnic?
Do I love a summer picnic? And this would be great because, once again, no mayo, so you don't have to worry about it sitting out too long. I also would love this as like a side dish to a little pork belly bun, you know, and have this as the side dish. It's kind of versatile. A little spicy, slightly sweet from the bread and butter pickles. And just finish off with some black sesame seeds. I love the little papa color that it adds to this. I think if I added white sesame seeds, you wouldn't see it. It just kind of melt away, so that's why I added the black sesame seeds. Okay, let this sit for about 10 minutes. Give it another stir. You can already see that it's starting to wilt down a little bit. Let it sit, give it a stir, let it sit, give it a stir. The longer it sits, the better it gets. So this has been sitting for a little bit. You can see that it's reduced by about half. It's really soaked in those flavors. I want to give it a little try. Mmm. It's really light, salty, a little sweet, tangy. My kind of slaw. I'm into this. I want to show you what the green beans, they kind of look the same, but these have been sitting for a couple days. They're still bright green. They still have that snap. And then also my red onions. They're nice and beautifully red. And they kind of stain the liquid a little bit. The coconut sugar did that, but so did the onions. If you liked this video, please subscribe, comment, let me know if you have some cool ideas on how to use pickle brine. I'm always looking for them because you know I love pickles and I always have brine. And all of the products that I used you can find at thrivemarket.com/prep school. Enjoy. Happy cooking. Let's talk about pickles, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the pickles and all the pickles.